Denise. Denise. It's Denise. It's Denise. It's Denise. Denise. It's a podcast party. It's a podcast party. It's a podcast party.
I gotta say, I feel like we're besties now after this. What's up, guys? It's Denise Salcedo. Hello there, everyone. Welcome to Speak Now Pro Wrestling. I'm your host, Denise Salcedo. It is the January 21st Friday edition. We are going to be chatting WWE SmackDown and AEW Rampage. And to be honest, we got some stuff to talk about today. I think we got a couple of things that I can't wait to talk about. And then we kind of got other things that there really wasn't much to say. Before I get into all of that, first of all, I want to welcome each and every single person that is tuning into the show, whether this is your first time or your 100th time. I want to thank you guys so much for coming in. As always, this is a very interactive show, so as you're here, do not be shy. I do not bite. Well, maybe I do. Just kidding. I don't know. Go ahead and leave comments, questions, whatever you guys want throughout the show. Take part in the chat, and I'll be pulling some comments up as we go. Additionally, if you want to make sure your comment, question, or statement gets read on the air, 100% guaranteed, you can go ahead and send in a super chat. If you do send in a super chat, F4W Online does allow me to keep 100% of all super chat proceeds. Also, before I go ahead and get started, and hold on one second, guys. I think my internet might be acting a little funky. Hold on. I don't think it is, but just in case, let me close this windows. Hopefully everything's okay. All right, here we go. I got scared for a second. I was like, oh my God, no. My internet can only handle so much. Anyway, so we're going to get into the show. We're going to talk about all of that in just a second. But before I get started, I want to remind you all that even though I'm live here 3 times a week, I am going to be doing a bonus stream this week. So on Sunday, I am going to be back here. I'm going to be live with a very special guest to talk about the World on GCW, which is taking place on Sunday. That is GCW's biggest show of the year. It's going to be taking place at the Hammerstein Ballroom, and they really have a stacked and loaded card. And my guest for that day, I cannot wait, it's going to be ESPN's very own Mark Raimondi. If you guys haven't seen a show with me and Mark, we really have a good time. We've done New Japan shows together, and I was so happy when he was able to get the clearance to come on and do my show on Sunday. Mark Raimondi he goes to all the GCW shows here in Los Angeles. We're constantly seeing each other, so he's definitely somebody that is very knowledgeable and very passionate about GCW. So I'm very excited to have him on the show on Sunday. So immediately after the show ends, make sure that you guys come back on here, because I will be on here with Mark Raimondi to talk about GCW. But we are getting plenty of super chats. Thank God. We're going to go ahead and read those and then hop into SmackDown. The SmackDown review is going to be very short, guys. There's not much to say. And then we'll get into our AEW Rampage review here. But let's go ahead and kick things off with our first super chat of the day. Shout out to Anima Master for sending this in. Anima Master says, what do you think, Denise? Does Jon Moxley owe us an apology for leaving to go defeat his personal demons that we all have? To me, Bully is just trying to get some publicity on himself. So, Anima Master, thank you so much for sending in this super chat. You're getting your money's worth. That is a good question to ask. All right, so I was on Twitter, and I don't follow Bully Ray, but I was on Twitter, and I saw Renee's tweet basically saying that Bully had a bad take, and I didn't know what went down or what was being talked about. Obviously, a couple of Google searches later, a couple of Twitter scrolls later, I find out what was said. And apparently on their podcast on Busted Open Radio, Bully Ray basically said that he felt that Jon Moxley should have started off his promo with an apology to the AEW fans. And when I saw that, I kind of thought, why? why exactly would he need to apologize? Like, he doesn't need to apologize to the fans. If you guys were here on my Wednesday stream, which was the return of Jon Moxley, you guys know how I felt about that promo. Like, I feel like I put over that promo like so much, and not once did it cross my mind like, hey, this guy needs to apologize. Like, what the hell? I'm sorry. Like, I think it's kind of nuts. Like, he doesn't owe us an apology whatsoever. Like, it's just, it feels like it's placing too much on a celebrity, I think, to say, oh, this person owes us an apology. I think that's too much. I think it's too much. I don't know. I don't know if he since apologized about making that call. I don't know if Bully Ray has apologized since making that comment, because it could be kind of, I think kind of hurtful, especially, Renee obviously tweeted about it. So clearly she wasn't, all that stoked about it. But yeah, I just don't think that he owes us an apology. I think what he went out there and what he said during that promo was to the T. It was perfect. If you guys want to hear me rant about that, you can listen to that show. But I do not think that he owes us an apology, okay? Definitely doesn't owe me an apology, that's for sure. Darth Stevens, C777 sends in a super chat saying, I'm here for Denise Party. Happy Friday. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate the love and the support. We got another super chat. This one is from Heidi Ho 77. Thank you so much to Heidi, who says, unvaxxed alcoholic smoker and still kicked COVID's ass this week. Here's some monies for keeping me entertained during isolation. Thank you so much. I appreciate the love, man. I really do. Thank you so much for that. Let's see what else we got here. Let's go. I think we got another super chat here somewhere. Here we go. This one is from Dave Arlotto, who says, what are the chances we get AJ versus Edge at WrestleMania? Dave, I will tell you this much. I don't know what the chances are for what we get or what's going to go down at WrestleMania. I legitimately do not know. But I will say this, though. I want to see AJ Styles in a program that actually means something. For a while, AJ Styles was literally getting booked so strongly. He was getting all these wins. And we all thought, oh, maybe he's going to face my prediction was, oh, maybe he's going to face Triple H at WrestleMania. Obviously, things didn't end up, working out and whatnot. So now, things have not been so hot for AJ Styles on Monday Night Raw. It's kind of been super lame. His breakup with Amaz was, not the greatest. It didn't really get people all that interested. Then the whole thing with Grayson Waller was great for Grayson Waller, but not for AJ Styles. So I definitely think that, we need something good for AJ Styles, and AJ Styles Edge would be good. But yeah, thank you so much to Dave Arlotto for sending that super chat in here. We got another one from Cameron Mumford. Thank you so much to Cameron, who's always sending lots of love on Twitter and supporting this podcast. Cameron says, hey, Denise, showing some love as usual. Glad you reminded us about the world on GCW after that Danielson-Moxley face-off on Rampage tonight. That show just might get even more interesting. That card is loaded, y'all. Obviously, Jon Moxley's going to be on that card. Jeff Jarrett's going to be on that card, who we're going to be talking about in just a hot minute here. But it's going to be a loaded show. Thank you so much to Cameron Mumford for sending in that super chat. I really appreciate it, man. Alrighty, everybody, let's get into this, everyone. So much to talk about. Let's get into SmackDown. This is going to be kind of a quick review of SmackDown, guys, because I'll be completely honest. I really feel like everything that they do with Roman Reigns has been, to the T. It's been great, right? But there is so much of what we're seeing on SmackDown that feels very, very filler. It doesn't really even mean anything, to be honest. And so I was, watching this show, and I thought to myself, like, man, I really feel that SmackDown needs a massive makeover. I don't know how else to say it, but they need to put so much more creative involved in this product. They need to get somebody besides Roman Reigns over on this show, because the slimness of the roster and the lack of compelling storylines is really coming out during this show. I sit through a 3-hour Raw, ladies and gentlemen, live. I watch commercials and everything and then talk about it after for an hour and like 20 minutes sometimes. And that show, given that it's 3 hours and, that show has, had its bad periods, we've talked about that. Raw is way more entertaining and easier to get through than SmackDown. That is not something that should technically be happening. So as I was watching SmackDown today, I was like, man, we really need to spice things up. We really need to get the show to a really nice, easy breezy 2-hour watch. But we have a lot here that just is not really all that compelling. So let's go ahead and talk about this show really quickly. Let's break down some of what we saw here. We opened up SmackDown with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns basically, we have Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins tells Roman Reigns, like, hey, dude, your cousins are the ones doing all the dirty work. You have my number. You could literally text me. And that was a really funny joke, actually. And then he even mentions Jon Moxley during this. Seth Rollins says, quote, just like me and Mox did in the Shield, the Usos are your pedestal. So I kind of really like this. That was pretty good. Roman Reigns then mocks him and basically tells him that all his promos are the same. And he asks him if John Cena is the one writing his promos. I thought that was pretty good too. And I did like how this obviously ended up leading to the main event. And I did like how the main event actually did turn out on the show. So Seth Rollins essentially suggests a tag team match with himself and a mystery partner against the Usos. And he basically says, if we win this match, the Usos are banned from our match at Royal Rumble. And so Kevin Owens comes out and he basically volunteers to be Seth Rollins' partner. This is hilarious because Kevin Owens comes out and he's hugging Seth Rollins and he goes, I like him. Oh, this was great. I did love that. Obviously the chemistry between Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins is always really good. So I really like that. But then Roman Reigns tells him, okay, fine, we're going to do this match, but if you lose the match at Royal Rumble. It's not happening. So I did like that this main event had stakes. They led up to it. And eventually, we had a nice little story that was told. For the main event, we had Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins take on the Usos. And it was a pretty good main event. It was picking up and got all of the highs, like all of those moments that you expect from a match between Seth Rollins and including Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. So I was enjoying this match, really enjoying it. I think there was like 3 or so minutes left on the show, and it's really picking up. Like the second Seth Rollins went in there, things started going to like another level. And then afterwards, we end up seeing Roman Reigns coming in and causing a DQ. So Roman Reigns causes a DQ. And usually when we get these DQs in WWE, we're not so hot for them. We're not so crazy about them because they're very, very overused. But I ended up liking how this worked out because this was essentially Roman Reigns making a decision to ban the Usos from their match at the Royal Rumble. So he made the decision to say, hey, you're getting your match. And also the Usos are banned because I want to prove a point. So I did love how the main event, I thought that was a really solid portion of the show here. So we got some good stuff there. Alrighty, guys, we're going to go ahead and continue on. Like I said, this will probably be a quick review of SmackDown. We got Kofi Kingston with Big E, and Kofi Kingston wrestled Madcap Moss. This was a super quick win for Kofi. Really not much of note during this match. After this, we got Aaliyah versus Natalya. This was very goofy, guys. This whole Aaliyah-Natalya storyline has been pretty goofy because Aaliyah last week, she won and she made this record where she's defeated Natalya in 3.17 seconds. Good for her. She got, a little something going on the roster, right? Cool. And so they end up doing this match. Natalya wants to prove a point, but during this match, apparently Natalya forgets the rules and she gets herself disqualified in this match, and Aaliyah ends up winning. So she ends up getting another win over Natalya. So now she's defeated Natalya twice. So Natalya's super pissed. She's going off, continuing to attack Aaliyah. And finally, Xia Li comes out to save Aaliyah. Xia Li is the protector. She does not like vulgar. She does not like bullies. So it makes sense that Xia Li came out to help out Aaliyah. So this is really goofy. This is obviously leading to a program with Natalya and Xia Li, which I'm totally cool with. But everything else surrounding this is pretty goofy here. Pretty goofy. Also, I do want to add though, guys, that I did do an interview with Aaliyah. If you guys haven't checked that out, you guys can. It's about a 15 or so minute conversation, and we really talk about her journey from NXT to the main roster. It's really cool. She's a very nice girl. Check it out, man. YouTube.com/Denise Salcedo. Also, we got Los Lotharios versus the Viking Raiders. This drives me nuts, guys. This drove me a little nuts here because we already know that they're not going to do anything with either of these two teams. And the Viking Raiders obviously are a little bit more over than Los Lotharios, right? They're a little bit more over. And there were some good moments in this match. There was a moment where Ivar hit this like killer spinning heel kick that literally knocked my socks off. So that was pretty cool. I like the finish. Eric essentially piling them both on top of one another, slamming them onto the mat, and then hitting the Viking Experience for the win. Great finish, right? But I'm thinking to myself, like, Los Lotharios literally need everything possible to even try and get over here on the SmackDown roster. Like, we've already been there, done that with the Viking Raiders. We really need to make Los Lotharios into something, and seeing them get beat like this, like jobbers, it's not doing anything for them whatsoever. So for me, I wish that they would do something, make them look a little bit more dominant. I think that would be such a huge benefit to that team, but it ain't happening, guys. It ain't happening. Alrighty, we're gonna go ahead and move on in just a second, and I still got probably a couple more things to talk about, and then we'll go ahead and jump into Rampage here. Let's see what we got here. SmackDown Championship Contenders match. We got Naomi versus Charlotte. Rematch. Sonya Deville is the referee. So this ends up being a little bit goofy too. Charlotte essentially accidentally knocks off Sonya Deville. She falls to the ground. She misses when Naomi gets a visual pin on Charlotte Flair. So obviously Naomi gets super pissed off. Charlotte ends up blocking in the figure eight. And even though Naomi doesn't tap, Sonya Deville calls it and cost her the match. And everybody forgot, including commentary, why Sonya Deville does not like Naomi. She already said it last week, guys. Last week, Sonya Deville said that she did not like Naomi because Naomi walks in acting like she's a main character when she's an extra. That's apparently the reason why she doesn't like her, BTW. A lot of people forgot that. I did it. It's all up here. Anyway, so that was that. They need to... Oh, Pierce did make Sonya Deville versus Naomi, and that's apparently supposedly happening next week. Sami Zayn comes out and does a couple of stunts. He is shocking himself. The crowd has zero reaction to this. Johnny Knoxville comes out, gets a good reaction, basically tells them that he doesn't have the little taser thing on, basically blows his cover, tells him it's not on. So he turns it on and just tases him. And poor Sami Zayn is just left there on the ground. And then, well, actually, he throws him out of the ring. And then he's left there on the ground. We got a super chat from Brandon Rosen, who says this feud between Naomi and Sonya is so tiresome. Get to the point already. It's been going on for months, my friend. 4 months. We got a comment from YT who says, seeing Eric Bischoff giving Adam Pearce advice and then Sonya just nodding and agreeing to Pearce, putting her in a match with Naomi felt a bit weird. Sonya should have attempted to get a stipulation. I don't even know, guys. Like, I'm just like, I don't even think that match is even happening, to be honest. They're going to keep extending this more and more. Like, I don't expect to see it, to be honest. And if I do, something crazy weird is going to happen. Also, WWE legend Summer Rae is in the crowd. And for those of you guys who are wondering why I said WWE legend Summer Rae, because that's what they referred to her as. And obviously, Twitter went nuts over this. She looked great, by the way. She looked just like Jessica Rabbit. Loved it. She looked phenomenal. We got a match between Sheamus and Sheamus and Ricochet. This was okay. Ridge Holland is there on the side. Cool. Ricochet goes for a dive. Sheamus gets him with the knee. That was fun. Sheamus gets the win. We also got the best, and this is the last thing we're talking about with SmackDown. The best moment of SmackDown, guys, was about 20-something seconds long. And it was when JEFFJARRET Jeff Jarrett appeared on SmackDown. That is right. Jeff Jarrett made a pit stop on his way to GCW this Sunday. And Jeff Jarrett essentially acknowledged Rick Boogs. They have a little interaction, tells him he's good on guitar. He asked him for his name. Rick Boogs totally fanboys. And that was it, guys. That was it. That was SmackDown, everybody. We got a super chat from Brandon Rosen who says, in WWE, the matches are just backdrops for goofy comedy. I can't take anything or anyone seriously on either Raw or SmackDown anymore. Now, here's the thing, though. There are a lot of things that I do like on Raw. There are things that I like on SmackDown. There are even things I like on NXT. And if you guys watch my post shows, you will know that. So I don't want to bury the entire thing. That's not what I want to do. No. But I did not like today's SmackDown. Today's SmackDown needed a lot. Last week's SmackDown needed a lot. And this week's SmackDown needed a lot too. I want to enjoy SmackDown. I've enjoyed many of SmackDowns before. And I know they have the potential to do it. And I believe in SmackDown. Oh, thank you so much to Brandon Rosen for sending in that super chat. Oh, thank you, Mike New York, for bringing up that Kid Rock was at ringside. Good, because I hate Kid Rock, all right? Kid Rock can suck it, all right? I don't like Kid Rock. I do not like him. I'm not a fan. Thumbs down. I legitimately do not like Kid Rock. And I refuse to pop or mark for Kid Rock because I am not a fan. Sorry, Kid Rock. Actually, no, I don't even feel sorry. I do not like Kid Rock. He has said some really terrible stuff that I don't even know how if anybody needs to be canceled, it's Kid Rock. All right. Just throwing that out there. Sorry to the Kid Rock stands that are probably going to come at me, but seriously, I do not like that guy. Hell's freaking no. Now let's go ahead and get into AEW Rampage. All right, let's get to this, guys. We got lots to get into this here today. We had a pretty, there was some good stuff on the show that included, obviously, Jon Moxley's return match to AEW. That was good. A really nice performance by Trent Beretta. We got Hook, who, is just killing it. And we had a main event that I think was probably the best match we have seen out of Jade Cargill and possibly even Anna Jay. Definitely Jade Cargill, possibly Anna Jay too as well. All right, so let's go ahead and get right into this. We got Lenny Banner who says, damn, and this is what I came in on. Perfect timing. Let's chat Rampage. Chris Kangel says, Denise is too liberal, apparently. Actually, I hate him for the things that he has said, and I also hate him for his disgusting comments on Taylor Swift. Don't like any of that. For more stuff that I don't like, Kid Rock. But let's get into this, everybody. Jon Moxley versus Ethan Page. This was a pretty good opening match, guys. It probably went, I think it went like a good maybe 15 minutes, I believe. I didn't keep time or anything like that, but I know that it lasted through we went through her commercial break and still came back and had a nice little lengthy match there. I want to put this match over, but before I do that, I want to put over Moxley, dude. We were already talking about, how good he looks. I put over his skin on Wednesday's show. thumbs up on the glowing skin. But obviously we saw him without a shirt today, and I don't want to sound like a perv, but the guy looked good, man. He looked in shape. You can see, the formations of, abs. Like physically, he's looking good. So if anything, I think that's definitely something that I want to point out here. But this match itself, I thought it was good just because it was like, hey, we haven't seen Moxley in a while. We haven't seen him wrestle in a while. So I feel that giving him a little lengthy match was the best way to go. And we saw so much. Like, we literally see Moxley chopping the hell out of Ethan Page. He's biting him. We see some German suplexes from Moxley to Ethan Page. We see a couple of punches and elbows thrown from Moxley to Page as well. We obviously, for the most part, Ethan Page is kind of getting his ass kicked during this, but Ethan Page does get some offense, obviously. There was a moment where he had a really good kick and an elbow and a brain buster that all went continuously, which I really enjoyed. We saw an avalanche power slam from Ethan Page to Jon Moxley off the top rope. And then finally, we end up seeing Jon Moxley win. And even after he wins the match, he hits the paradigm shift on Ethan Page. So this is where we gotta, get pretty excited about where we're going. So a lot of us were wondering, like, hey, who's gonna be Jon Moxley's opponent when he returns? Who's he gonna get in there with? What are we gonna see? And a lot of people were basically throwing around Bryan Danielson's name. All right, makes perfect sense, man. Why the hell not? So, but to be honest, like, even though like that name was thrown around, I still wasn't, you don't really know if something's going to happen until it actually happens. So Moxley's walking out of this match, and, he's walking towards the way that he came in through that, tunnel. And all of a sudden, Bryan Danielson appears and essentially kind of gives him the, the nod of approval. I think he even did like a little bit of clapping, and they kind of just look at each other and have this like tango with their eyes. They tangle with their eyes, and Jon Moxley leaves. And I'm like, screenshot, screenshot, screenshot. Here it is. This is the official tease for Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley. And you know what that means? That means we're going to get two badasses that are literally have two giant chips on their shoulders and want to prove something of themselves. So they're going to go out there and literally kick each other's butts when they get the opportunity to do so. So I personally am beyond excited for Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley, and I think it's the right call to go. It's the perfect program to get Jon Moxley like back in the game and get him in there, hot. And Bryan Danielson, obviously, he's just coming off this hot program with Adam Page. So how do you keep that momentum that Bryan Danielson has been building and has been having since coming into AEW? Well, you put him in this program with Jon Moxley. So I do think that this is a win-win on both ends here. And it's one of those things where I don't even know where they're going to go with Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley. I don't know. And I hope they get creative with it. And I hope they have a little bit of fun with it. But guys, what did you think? Go ahead and send in your thoughts. Once again, if you want to make sure your comment, question, or statement gets read on this stream, 100% guaranteed, you can send in a super chat and I will make sure to read your comment. And I'll pull up some non-super chat ones as well. But let's go ahead and see what people are saying about this here today. We got Keith Duran saying, think we'll see Mox versus Danielson in a barbed wire match. Like, if they ever decide to do the exploding barbed wire match again, like at some point you think they want to like avenge themselves because of that whole disaster that happened. Like, they would really have to make sure that thing works, man. Like, I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I would be a little bit nervous thinking like, oh, Jesus, please work, please work. But they don't really like, obviously, they can have multiple matches. I wouldn't say go right into like a barbed wire match. No, like I would want to see just like, a regular match and then, build from there personally. Let's see what we got here. Let's get through a couple more comments and see what people are saying. This one is from Riff55, who says Moxley versus Danielson will be a glorious, unscripted violence. I think that's exactly what we all want here. Really good stuff here. And let's see what we got here. This one's from Andrew Cook, who says Mox tried to have a nice showing, but now that he's healthy, he needs to have a good pay-per-view match soon. I'm pretty sure he will. I have no doubt that that's going to be happening soon, so I think it'll be good. Let's see what else we got. And this one is from Killer Mike 375, who says, Great match to benefit of the doubt to Mox because he's literally fresh off rehab and taking a break can't be more proud of. Yeah, good stuff, man. Obviously, this was the match to like ease them back into, ease them back into everything. We got a super chat from Heidi Ho 77. Thank you so much to Heidi, who says, do you think WWE showing Mox in video packages and calling him Mox on SmackDown is a hint he'll make a Rumble appearance? Jesus. So I got to pick my wording here. I'm going to say no. Okay. And I can't really talk much more about that, but I'm going to say no, but I can't talk much more about that. Okay. That's all. But my gut is saying no. I don't think so. I feel like it's too far-fetched, and I don't want to be that person that is too is thinking that all this stuff's gonna happen, right? So I'm gonna say no. But that's it. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I can say right now, guys. Brandon Rosen, Denise, do you know something? I don't know something, okay? Church of Platinum says Denise got the info. I don't, okay? I just, yeah, that's it. Continue on. Oh, God. All right, moving on, everybody. Ah, Jesus. I don't know where to go on from this. All right. Zeno Hour, spill the tea, Denise. Nick A, I'm going to say no. Significant pause. No, like legitimately. Moving on. Trent Beretta versus Nick Jackson. So this match was changed, obviously, due to the fact that Rocky Romero has been diagnosed with COVID. So I hope that, Rocky Romero's doing all right. A really good dude, man. Really big fan of Rocky Romero. Such a nice person. But we got Trent Beretta versus Nick Jackson. And this match, I was really digging it. It kind of took me a second, I think, to kind of get into it because I was kind of like, still, feeling the effects, I think, of Jon Moxley and Ethan Page, and then Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson and all of that, right? So I'm going into Trent Beretta and Nick Jackson. So I was kind of, still, waiting to get a little bit invested in this match, right? But I think it was the point of this match where they both suplexed each other. Like one of them suplexed one, the other one suplexed the other one, whatever, right? And then they were both down. I think it was right after this where this match really picked up and I got super invested in it. And it was really just like hitting them a bunch of spots, really enjoyable, which, I'm going to mark out for spots regardless, right? We literally see Nick Jackson he did like a moonsault. He did a moonsault. Then he did like an elbow strike. And then right after that, he executed a Canadian destroyer. I marked out for this entire sequence of events that occurred during this. Immediately after, he gets a senton. Then he hits a 450. And then Trent manages to get the win during this match. First of all, I gotta say that I was very happy when Trent Beretta got the win. And the reason for that is, I know we like Trent Beretta, right? But I feel like when you think of guys that you're like a big fan of in AEW, you probably mention like 5-10 other names before you mention Trent Beretta, right? And that's not a knock. It's just how things are. He's been gone for a while and he's back, et cetera, et cetera. But there was something about him during this match where I thought, the guy's not underrated. That's not the proper term to use here. I feel that he is going to be the guy that you don't see coming, and all of a sudden, he is going to sort of like explode in a good way, right? I feel like there's something there with Trent Beretta, and I hope that AEW sees it and really goes for it, man. Really goes for it with Trent Beretta. He's got a great look. He's good in the ring. There's just something about him that I feel has made me a bigger fan. And for some reason, tonight was the night for me on that one. For someone plugged me into the wall of becoming a bigger fan of Trent Beretta than I was before. I always liked the guy, was, fan of his, but for some reason, I just saw him differently today. And I think I've been seeing him differently since his return. Obviously he just looks really good, but tonight there was something there. I want to put that over. There's something there. Brandon Rosen says Mox to Royal Rumble confirmed. Oh, God, no. No, I don't think so. No. Thank you so much to Brandon Rosen. Let's not spread any rumors. That's definitely not where I was going with that. Definitely not. Amir F says, wording, Denise. You should have seen how I worded the Trent Beretta thing on my notes. I wrote, quote, this is what I wrote on my notes, but I had to change it. But I know how else to write it. I put, quote, they really have something with Trent. I think he's going to be the guy you don't see coming. That's going to come hard. That's what I wrote on my notes, but y'all get what I'm saying. Nick A. Oh, no. Nick A. says you don't see him coming and then he'll explode. Phrasing, Denise, that's what you meant? No. That was me phrasing it in a good way, in an appropriate way, in a way that was okay. Oh, God. This show is a disaster. Thank you so much to Nick A for correcting me here. Jesus, that's not what I meant. Oh God, this is terrible. And we got Eric Desire putting him over, saying his selling is really phenomenal. We got people saying that Riff F says that Trent's fantastic. But the way that you see Trent is how I see Stu Grayson. The dude has something special. I'm wild, underrated, says Riff 55. All right, guys. Michael Jefferson step holes is wilding. I don't know what else. I don't know what other way to say it, guys. Somebody please rewrite. Somebody script me. Thanks. I'm going to need to be scripted from now on. If y'all can script me and let me know how to properly say that Trent is going to be somebody. There you go. Trent is going to be somebody on the AEW roster. Saying it right now. All right, let's go ahead and continue on, everybody. We got an awesome promo by my boss, Thunder Rosa, cutting a promo on Mercedes Martinez. Good stuff there. And before we get into Hook, I'm going to make you guys wait for it. Just a friendly reminder, everybody, that this Sunday, I'm going to be doing a bonus stream. The World's on GCW with Mark Ramondi of ESPN. He's going to be here joining me. Please come in, guys, for that show. Let's talk some GCW. I have a feeling things are going to be nuts. So please make sure you guys come in for that. And then if not, I'll see you guys next week. Tuesday, we'll be chatting NXT 2.0. Wednesday, we'll be chatting AEW Dynamite. And then Friday, I'll be here once again for SmackDown and Rampage. So we'll be doing that. And then, yeah, we'll go about things the rest of it today. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on. Where am I at? Hook. That's right, everybody. Hook versus Serpentico. So we got like a little taste of Hook. Like we didn't get too much of Hook today, but it was all right. We got a nibble. So we got Hook coming out. He goes right into the match right away. Literally doesn't even give Serpentico a moment to even get out of his gear or anything like that. Literally breaks right into this match. Immediately we see multiple judo throws, high impact judo throws, like not even some high impact judo throws. Really good stuff there. We see him execute the head and arm Tazplex, which we've been seeing him do multiple times now. We see the standing red rum for the finish, and Serpentico taps out. He gets the win, and then right after this, so really fast match, but impressive stuff, man. They're doing things. They're keeping it simple and easy with Hook, where it doesn't feel like too much, and they're giving you just enough to just keep you reminded, like, hey, this kid's going somewhere. This is your weekly reminder of Hook. But after this, QT Marshall comes out, and he's basically, trying to get his attention, and Hook is just about to pass right by him. But obviously QT Marshall does not like that. So he ends up, grabbing him by the arm. Hook does not like that. So Hook ends up getting pissed off and hits him with a Northern Light suplex on the ramp. And then literally, as QT Marshall is laying there on the ramp in pain from the looks of it, and Hook just walks right over his body like it's nobody's business. I completely marked out for this. This was good stuff, man. I'm hooked. What else can you say? The hook is a draw, man. Hook is a draw. And people were really into what he was doing there. YT says, bro, does QT Marshall have a death wish? Yeah, for reals. Nick A says, there are genuinely 15-year-old vets of mainstream wrestling that have never been as over as Hook in after 4 matches. This is true. Like, during his even when they just introduce his matches and that they're going to be happening, you can hear the crowd getting excited for them. So the guy doesn't even have to do much, and he's in, man. We're definitely all hookers here. This is a comment from Eric Desire, who says, Taz laughing as Hook walks over QT's corpse made it so much better. I love Taz. I've been wanting to interview Taz or Hook for like the longest time, guys. Man, I've been working on it, but it hasn't happened just yet. Bummer. But maybe it will. I don't know when. We're trying, though. I'm trying. Just know I'm trying. All right, let's go ahead and continue on, everybody. So where are we from here? Immediately after, we just got one more thing to talk about. But before we talk about the main event, I will be back here next week to talk about AEW Dynamite, my most popular show of the week, so make sure you guys come in for that. But we got a couple of matches announced already for Beach Break, which is next week. We got the TNT Championship ladder match, Sammy Guevara versus Cody Rhodes. I'm looking forward to it. I'm a mark for ladder matches. I'm sold. Lights out match, Adam Cole versus Orange Cassidy. That should be really fun. Looking forward to that. We're also going to be seeing Chris Jericho, Santana, and Ortiz versus Daniel Garcia and 2.0. Red Velvet versus Layla Hirsch. So that should be a pretty good show, everybody. But let's go ahead and get into this main event, because this was good stuff, guys. Honestly, this was good stuff. We had Anna Jay versus Jade Cargill for the TBS Championship. This was Jade Cargill defending her TBS Championship for the very first time. This was her first defense, and I gotta say, this was her best match by far. I thought that she did pretty good. There was nothing during this match that I recall being like usually for some of her other matches, there's been moments where I've, pointed out like that wasn't good, or, what was going on here. I didn't have a moment like that during this match. So I do want to say like kudos to Jade, because you are seeing that improvement, and kudos to Anna Jay, man, because this was fun. This was really fun. Some of the things that I want to talk about here. Right at the beginning, we literally see a really nice kip up by Jade Cargill. Obviously, she's a very athletic woman. Jade brings her down with Jade brings down Anna Jay with a clothesline that looked really nice as well. And there was this moment during the match that I completely popped for, because you see Jade Cargill and John Silver doing the muscle pose literally right at each other. And it was a moment. It was a hilarious moment. They didn't have to do much, literally just them doing this. And I posted the screenshot on Twitter if you want to see that, but just the photo itself, man, it's hilarious. We go to commercial break. We come back. Anna Jay is literally choking out Jade Cargill during this. We see Anna Jay kick her in the midsection. She kicks her in the midsection multiple, I think a couple of times, like maybe twice or so. Love that was pretty good too. Then we see Jade essentially hit her with a pump kick. After this is where it really starts to pick up even more, because after she hits her with a pump kick, we see Anna Jay kick her in the back of the knee. So she kicks her in the back of the knee. She falls down. She locks her in a choke, but Jade Cargill manages to get herself back up. She gets herself back up on her feet, and she gets out of it. Like, that little sequence of events that we saw there was pretty exciting. And this is when I started getting into the match more. After this, we saw by this point, we see Jade Cargill essentially hit the one-arm power bomb, and she ends up getting the win for this match. So I will say that, like, the finish, like everything leading up to the finish was really exciting. Like, there was a moment where I bought, what if? I mean, I wasn't expecting Jade Cargill to lose on her first title defense. Let's be real. I wasn't expecting it, but there was a split second where I thought, what if? Because they managed for that split second to fool me and make me think that there was a possibility that Anna Jay was going to win this. So Jade wins this match. This was honestly the best that she has looked. She is now 25-0, ladies and gentlemen. 25-0. That is nuts. But she's improving, guys. She's improving, but legitimately do not write off Anna Jay. Don't write her off. That girl is, she was very impressive during this match. We got a super chat from Brandon Rosen. Thank you so much to Brandon, who says, say what you will about Jade Cargill's ring skills. She looks and sounds like a star and a champion, and I can't wait to see what she does. But see, here's the thing, like, she was super green. You can still say she is green, like, but that's okay. She's improving. Like, the improvement is happening. There's a reason they're pushing her. The reason they're pushing her is because look at the way she looks. She looks like a star. She's been looking like a star, but just the ring work, the in-ring work hasn't always been there, and that's okay. We are developing. We are seeing her develop. So, like, you don't have to think she's the greatest wrestler in the world, which obviously I did not think so, but I have been seeing that improvement, and I saw it in this match. I haven't all the other matches haven't been like my favorite, but this one was definitely up there. Definitely up there. But yeah, she looks great. But she's just going to get better, guys. Happens with everybody. You just got to keep improving, man. Got to keep improving. Alrighty, guys, there you go. That is literally SmackDown and Rampage here today. I want to thank you guys so much, as always, for tuning in. Do not forget to come back on Sunday for the World on GCW with myself and Mark Ramondi. Other than that, guys, I really hope you have a phenomenal weekend. Please do not forget to head on over to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Denise Salcedo. I have a brand new interview with Kylan King, who you guys may know from AEW Dark. I have an interview with Aaliyah, as we were just talking about her earlier today. On top of that, I have conversations with Deonna Purrazzo that are up right now. I had an interview with Leo Rush as well, and I also did an unboxing video of the All Elite crate. If you guys haven't checked that out, you guys can check that one out too. That one was pretty fun to do. So check those out. Other than that, I will see you guys later. Seriously, have an awesome weekend, everybody. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you on Sunday. Bye, everybody.